go ahead and get started. For our first thing, we wanted just a standard agenda. We're going to do the T-call announcements, and then we're going to do some updates from us, and then from the conference, the PD centers, and then we're going to talk about the trainings that are coming up, and then we're going to do the monthly webinars, a few test announcements, some general PD announcements, and then everybody's favorite PD coordinator time. So first, we'll talk about the professional development centers. So Joan, I think you're up first.
Yes, hello everyone. We are super excited that the Career Pathways Symposium is now 18 days away, and it will be, as you can see on your screen, starting on May 23rd at the Hilton Fort Worth. I've got the registration link there on the slide for you guys, and I can also drop it in the chat in a second. Symposium is free to attend for everyone. You just have to pay for your travel. And then if you'll go to the next slide, I've got a little bit more info. We are so close to announcing our final agenda. So hopefully this is going to be the last time I am teasing you guys with just the very overview schedule of events for the symposium. We'll get started Monday afternoon, run all day Tuesday, and then have morning sessions on Wednesday, May 25th. And as you've been hearing in the biweekly calls and on all the emails, these sessions will be presented in person in Fort Worth, and we will also have a live stream of all the sessions. So if you haven't signed up yet, go ahead and do that. And then we are looking forward to seeing you in Fort Worth and also via the live stream. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Joan. Next up, we're going to talk about the Distance Education PD Center. And Michelle is out, so Deb is going to cover this one for us.
Thanks, Wayne. Good afternoon, everyone. As most of you know, if not all of you, we do have our Distance Learning and Tech Integration Symposium next week in San Antonio. We're very excited. We're going to a new location. It's the Alamo College's Northeast Lakeview College in Live Oak, or Universal City is the formal address, I think. We've got some fantastic sessions happening. We've got a wonderful national speaker who's going to do the keynote for us. We've got a technology lab. We've got some giveaways. I think I have on the next slide, or I put it in the chat. I'll put the chat in for you to register. Registration closes tomorrow afternoon. So as Joan mentioned with her symposium, ours is also free. We'll have the distance learning vendors, and this year there'll be some new ones. Actually, probably half of them are new vendors that we have yet to see at a conference. So I'm excited about meeting those folks as well. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Paula put the link in the chat.
Thank you, Paula. And the call center is open for business. We are so excited. I think last week we had 4 calls in one day, and it was so exciting because one of our call center agents was speaking Spanish, and another one is so excited about his job. He's a student worker who speaks other languages other than Spanish. He's learning Spanish on Duolingo now because he wants to be able to help out in Spanish. We're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. You see the phone number on the screen. Your distance learning leads should have received their posters. We will be giving everyone a poster to take home that comes to the Distance Learning Symposium. Our website is up. You'll see it here on the screen, txdistanceedhelp.com. You'll see some really good stuff on that website, and we hope that you'll promote some of our resources as well. So I'll put the link to the resources. I'm sorry, I don't have the slide up right now myself, but I'll put the link to the resources in the chat pod here in just a minute.
Paula already dropped it in there.
Wow, thanks, Paula.
She's on top of it today.
She is.
Okay, thank you, Deb, for covering for Michelle, and we'll move on to the new trainings and conferences. So the first one we're going to do is Paula. I guess you got this one.
Didn't unmute when I clicked it. Sorry about that, guys. We've got lots going on the literacy symposiums. One is starting tomorrow. It's the Literacy Connexus is doing a faith affiliated program, and it's virtual. So you can still register. You go to the link. I'm going to put that in the chat pod, but it's on the screen there where you can actually register if you wish to, because it's virtual and you just sign in. And then on June 2nd, Laredo, which is new regional symposium, will hold theirs June 2nd. Right now it's face-to-face in Laredo College. And on June 11th, Gulf Coast, down in the Pearland area, will be having their symposium. And it's scheduled right now for June 11th. That could change to the next weekend, but that will be a face-to-face as well. And then the DFW Literacy Symposium will be June 25th, and it will be virtual. So look for its registration link. So anybody can come. Encourage your nonprofit volunteers, CBO-based AEL programs to attend, and then you get PD credit. Many of these are entered into teams for your benefit. Now, the big conference, annual conference for Literacy Texas, will be here in College Station. That will be August 1st and 2nd. And I don't think the registration started up yet, but that will be the link. You can just kind of keep your eye on the calendar and they'll send you to the link when you register. Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you, Paula. And next, we're going to do Beth.
Thanks, Wayne. This is a plug for a session that we have coming up called Poetry in Motion, Building Writing Skills for ESL and ELA. And this is a 3-hour training that Delia Watley created, and it's just super interactive and a whole lot of fun. So I checked right before we started, we do have spots still available. This is one we piloted a few months ago, so please get your instructors to sign up. It really is a good session. Thanks, Wayne.
Thanks, Beth. And I just wanted to let you guys know that we've sent out the next issue of the PD monthly. It should have came to you mid last week. If you're still not getting them or your staff is not getting them, just let me know, and we'll see what's going on. A lot of times it looks like it's ending up going to junk mail or spam mails. So that's enough of that one. And do we have any questions yet? I didn't see anything in the chat, so we'll move on to the monthly webinar series. And the first one up is going to be Wendy.
All right. Hello, everybody. So the next Manager Monday is on May 16th, and that one will be rebranding your IET. We're going to have Mr. Ricardo Rivera from Brownsville. He's the director there. He's going to talk a little bit about some changes he's made to marketing his IET programs, along with some of the specific strategies he has used, he and his team, not just himself, to increase student motivation and persistence. So that is a great session for anyone involved in IET. Next slide. Then after May 16th in June, we have Dr. Rick Alvarado returning to cover Adjust Your Thinking. And that one is going to be covering how if you change your mindset to being open to other opinions and other perceptions, it can dramatically change both your personal and professional life. And then in July, we have both Ann Savino and Elena Madrid coming to discuss a new IET survey tool. So that is another good one for anybody involved in IET. Next slide. And this one is just a reminder, basically, for me to put in all of the dates for you into the chat so that you can grab those and put them on your calendar and send them out to anybody that you feel would benefit, because it's an easy way to get an hour of professional development, and the topics are always very applicable to anybody in a leadership role in adult education. I think that's my last slide.
It is. Thank you, Wendy. We're
Thank
going to
you.
move over to Teacher Tuesdays with Krista.
Hi. So the next Teacher Tuesday is May 10th, and Ashley Winkle and I are going to be presenting on the Adult Ed Med videos and bringing them into your classroom. So a lot of people have given us excellent feedback about the videos, but then have asked, well, how do I use these? So have your teachers join us and we'll talk about how to pull the resources from the website and use them in the lesson plans that are already on the website and or with your own lessons. So join us at 12 o'clock next Tuesday. And then June 7th will be our next Teacher Tuesday. Yes, it's a week early, but we wanted to make sure that we could get Dr. Glenda Rose, and she is going to present on digital literacy with low-level students. Now, this may not be the final title. I just wanted to get the topic on here so that you guys can have that on your radar for June 7th. And the registration for this one will be available soon. It is not quite there, but the May 10th one is.
Thank you, Krista. We're going to move on to Workforce Wednesdays with Olga Escamilla.
Thank you, Wayne. So our upcoming session is May 11th, and please note the date change. We will be having Ring Ring Smartphones for Workforce Integration presented by Elizabeth Moya. Oopsie, I think we went fast. So from basic phone features to free interactive apps, come and explore ways to digitize your classroom with the use of smartphones for workforce. So the presenter will navigate the use of smartphone tools to assist in improving learner transfer. So the session is going to provide participants with practical instructional activities that can be utilized for employability skills building, all on your smartphone. And participants should come prepared to use their smartphone equipped with internet. And then the other upcoming session is June 15th. We have the CPPDC staff or CPPDC team. They're going to be presenting on building employer partnerships to ensure employment outcomes. So join in on that session and learn how to engage what employers want through different strategies, such as developing a sales pitch script, emphasizing the program, meeting the needs of the employer, and developing a strong MOU, connecting with employers throughout the training process by maintaining a relationship with emphasizing effective communication, and creating internal and external incentives by exploring flex time, part-time off, procuring grants, increasing performance, etc. So join us for these sessions. Next slide. And then this one is a reminder of, as Wendy said, of the upcoming dates. And I will place these dates potentially in the chat. I just wanted to mention that we do have September 21st as one of the dates, and this was set before the TWC fall conference, and it may be changed. And I will be updating this as soon as I know what's going to happen. So here's some dates, and I'll put them in the chat. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Olga. The next, we're going to go to Tech and Tell. Anne Marie is out today, so Beth, can you cover it for her?
Absolutely. Thank you, Wayne. So the upcoming Tech and Tells for May, we have a two-parter. The first part will be on May 20th. Part 2 will be on May 27th. And our presenter is Amy McBride. And the topic is going to be a website called GeoGebra. And we actually did a session a couple years ago on this site, but they've added lots of features. And so we're going to go back and revisit it. Part 1, we're going to kind of concentrate on the online calculator. And then part 2, we're going to really dig into the lessons and the lesson plans that are part of that site. So have your instructors join us for these free webinars. They're going to be great fun. Next slide. These are the upcoming dates for the rest of the Tech and Tells through August. Again, subject to presenter availability. And then I think there's one more for us. And so as we do each month, we want to let you know that if you have instructors or staff in your program that are using great new tools, or you feel like have something to offer, we're always looking for ideas for our webinar series. And as the PD Center, we kind of feel like that's part of our service, is to give folks in the field an opportunity to share all the good things that they're doing and help them grow their skills as presenters. So just let us know if you have someone who's doing great work. We appreciate it. Thanks, Wayne.
Thanks, Beth. We have any questions? Not seeing any. So we'll go on to the training announcements. And Beth, I believe you're covering this for Tracy.
I am. Thank you. I'm back. I'll pass it on to somebody else soon. We've added a few more test trainings in June to try and help everybody get up to speed before the end of the program year. So we've added a TABE 1112 online test administrator training. This is not a TOT, it's just a test administrator training. And we'll need you as the PD coordinators to go in and register your staff for that one. Okay, so that one's coming up. And then we added one more TOT for CASAS. So we will be covering modules, all 4 modules, modules 1 through 4, June 21st through the 23rd. So it is a time commitment for the TOT and to get through all of that training. But we wanted to give folks one more opportunity, and that is available for you to register your participants in the PD portal. I think I've got the next couple too. And part of the reason we're adding some additional assessment trainings is because after July 1st, with the new program year, that tier 1 test training is going to be the responsibility of the local program. So we want to get as many people trained as we can before the end of the year. And of course, we will continue to do training of trainer events to help build your local capacity at the local program. And Tiffany, I'll have to go to it's because she's got the table in there. She put it there. It's 1 to 4:30. Thank you, Paula. And just a reminder that every 2 years you need test administrator refreshers. So both test administrator training and the remote testing every 2 years. So if you first did that first remote testing training that we did, it's coming up on 2 years now. And if you go to the next slide. So what you need to do is you can go into the PD portal, and we recorded those remote test trainings. So you can go and watch the recording, and that will work for your refresher requirement for that remote test training.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you, Wayne.
So another stop for questions if anybody's got one.
Wayne, do you see the question from Tara? Is there a refresher for the table 1112 online administrator through the PD portal?
There is not a specific refresher for the TABE 1112 online. And Tara, I can circle back with you. A lot of times it depends on what it is your local program needs as far as what the refresher is going to look like. But I'll follow up with you on that one.
Thank you,
Thank
Beth.
you again, Beth. And we're going to move on to a new course review with Katie.
Howdy, everyone. We have 3 new courses that have been published in the PD portal. Tech and Tell, Jamming with Jamboard, Google's Digital Whiteboard, Part 1. Then we have Tech and Tell promoting active learning with Google Jamboard Part 2. Then we have Workforce Wednesday Career Exploration Step 2.
Thank you, Katie.
Mhm.
And we're back to you, Beth.
This is just a reminder. We talked about this a couple of months ago that if you have local programs, the TCAL PD portal courses will be put in by TCAL staff. So just a reminder that don't have the local program staff put those into teams, that our team will take care of that. And you can see here, this is just an example and a reminder to everybody that those recorded courses or that Katie was just talking about, or a pure online course, will be put into teams under TCAL as the training provider, and it'll always start with PD portal : then the name of the course. And what we'll do is after the program year starts back July 1, as soon as Teams is opened back up for us for the new program year, TCAL staff will go in and put all of the recordings for the new year in. Takes us a little bit because we're getting quite a few courses now in the PD portal. So it'll take us a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks if we can get all 4 of us that can put things in teams working on it. But we will take care of that for you. We'll put it all in there. Yes, Marie's asked, but we put in teams their local professional development. That is correct, Marie. Yes, anything that you guys do at the local program, you put into teams. And if you have any questions about that, you feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to work with you on that.
Okay, thank you, Beth. And we're going to go back to Katie.
I'm back. All right. So we have seen a pretty decent uptick in calls and emails just because of the time of year that we're approaching. So I just want to kind of send out a reminder to you and your staff as you complete professional development for the program year. If you have questions, we may have answers already for you. So please hover on the help tab in the PD portal, and then you select help resources. And that will take you to a page where all of our basically there's 4 of our main videos, but there's a link to where all of our help resources are located. You can also email us at pdportal@tamu.edu. Remember that our PD portal team will respond to emails and calls during normal business hours of Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. And please know that it can take up to 1 business day for us to get back. We really, really appreciate the patience, just as the craziness of the end of the year. I think I'm up for another.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and this has been there, but I'm going to share it again as a reminder. We, as we enter this, the spring season, several of you are on this webinar are considered a manager or approver in the PD portal, which is a specific term to the PD portal. Being in this role allows you to run reports such as transcript reports, which is really important right now, view transcripts and certificates of completion, communicate with others in the AEL field, and assign trainings. Please check out our resources. You can either scan the QR code on the screen, or I'm going to put the link in the chat pod for you, but it is such a wonderful resource to have. Oh, and Paula already put it in there. Thank you, Paula. All right, and I have one more. This is goes with what Beth was saying for Tracy. So the majority of our PD portal courses are set up in a way where they cannot be repeated, and that has caused a little bit of an issue for the test trainings that require a refresher. So we have an idea for next program year, but for right now, if you need to complete a refresher, but you're unable to request one of the following, please just send us an email at pdportal.tamu.edu. There's a handful of us who are trained on how to do this, and we can help push it through to your transcript. And those that I'm talking, the refreshers I'm talking about is Best Plus 2.0 remote testing administration, CASA's Proctor Remote Testing Training, and TABE 1112 Remote Test Administration for Texas. It's very simple. You just let me know the name of the training and the handful of names who need to complete it, and I can take care of that. PD coordinators, you can assign these as well. However, if you need the refresher, I'll have to push that on your transcript because you can't do it to yourself. So in your email, just include, like I said, list of names and what tests you need, and one of us will take care of it for you.
Thank you, Katie. And we're going to move on to Teams announcements. And Beth, I think you're covering this one as well.
Yes, this is just a reminder. I know a bunch of you had staff that attended COABE or either in person or virtually. And so it's that time of year to try and get those into Teams. So we do have that Teams conference spreadsheet that's available in the PD coordinators community of practice. So if you want, have staff that need a COABE session put into Teams, complete that spreadsheet and send it to myself or Tracy Hendricks, and we will make sure that that happens for you. There were just so many COABE sessions that we just don't have the manpower to put every single one into Teams. So we rely on you to help us identify which ones we need to put in there. If you have any questions about that, I think actually the question slide is next. Happy to answer those for you.
Thank you, Beth. So it's question time again. I'm not seeing any. Did I miss any, Paula?
Nope, I don't see any. Everybody's received their answers if they've asked them.
Okay, so it's everybody's favorite time. PD coordinator time. Krista, take it away.
I feel like I should sing Howdy Doody or something. Howdy Doody time. Anyway, the weather's getting me a little loopy. So go ahead and go to the next slide. I know this was gone over last month, but you can't hear it too many times. Remember that the end of your program year is coming up, and it's time to make sure that your staff is completing their PD hours using that team staff roster, team staff development, and then the PD portal transcripts and active user reports. Please reach out to your PD specialists. We are here to help you make sure that everybody gets their training in so that they can be teachers for the next year. So if you have any questions or concerns or need a last minute training, not too last minute, remember we close some things up like at the 1st of June or second week of June so everything can be completed. But start looking now. Okay. And just as a thank you for getting your the PD plan follow-ups in. We hopefully have all of those sent to TWC, and we appreciate your efforts on that. Let's see, I've got a couple of questions in here. Tara, that is a question. Beth, can you get that question? Should we put an end date of 6/30/22 for all staff and teams, even if they return in July?
That's one that TWC will need to answer.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yes.
I can grab it, Tara, and send it up the ladder for you.
Okay. And Tiffany asks, is there a date for teachers who have been assigned the principles of adult learning and understanding adult learners that they need to be completed by? And those are exactly the courses I was thinking about. Katie, you're normally the one that gives us that due date. Is that going to be like June 1st, or can we, any ideas on that one?
Repeat that question for me.
You know how we normally close out principles of adult learning and understanding adult learners?
Tiffany, you are ahead. We haven't made it there yet. Typically, and that is a great reminder for me. Typically, we will close it early to mid-June, just so I would say middle of June, just so that tests can be graded and all of that. And so no one would be able to request it after that, but they can work on the test. But there will be a formal announcement, and we will make sure that we put it in the COP whenever we have that that exact date for you.
Perfect. Thank you, Katie. And like Marie says, she's asked everyone to finish before May 31st, and just make June an easy breathing if you can get your staff to be done with their PD before June. All right, any other questions? These are exactly the kind of questions that we want for PD coordinator time. Anything else that's on your mind or you want to ask about?
The long silence. I guess we
Yep.
gave them long enough.
Yep. I know, Thelma, isn't that amazing? She says, I tell mine that they have to complete by spring break and I still end up chasing them into June. I know, it's amazing. Let's see, Lorraine, come back. Would there still be a little time in early June? We have some new staff coming on next week.
You need to complete understanding principles of adult learning. Is that what she was asking? Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm following. Yes, early June, but we'll end up shutting it down and turning off the availability, which means that no one can request it or can't be assigned middle of June. And again, I'm not for sure on that date exactly just yet, but as soon as I know, I will make sure that I let everyone know. They can still work on it until the end, but we'll have the deadline will be before the 30th of June, just because it has to be graded and it is a lengthy one to grade.
Okay. And then we had another question. Nelda Tavar asked, is there a list of items we need to complete before the end of the program year? Now, are you talking PD, Nelda? Okay, so there's no required training except for the 15 hours of PAL, 15 hours, no, whoa, 15 hours. I'm sorry. No, scratch that. 6 hours of.
Are you giving out heart attacks today, Kristen?
I am. Good grief. It's a total of 15 hours, and it's 6 hours of literacy, 3 hours of PAL, 6 hours of other. But if you're not sure what your teachers have or still need, work with your PD specialist, and you guys can work together on where your teachers are and where they're still lacking. Yeah, that's what we need is thunderstorms and 15 hours of each. My goodness, sorry.
Krista, could I also put in a plug? I know, Lorraine, you were talking specifically about the Principles of Adult Learning course. And the reason we closed that one down early is because it's hand graded. So we have to give our staff time to grade that. But there are other PAL courses that are available in the PD portal. So you could put together 3 hours of PAL using some of the self-paced courses that are in the PD portal. We actually have 2 fairly new PAL courses, one on self-directed learning and one on transformational learning. So if you need some help figuring out how to search by the PD category in the PD portal, your PD specialist would be happy to help you with that.
And Beth, I also just put the document for how to search and refine the search for the PAL category in the chat pod.
Thank you, Katie.
Perfect.
And I
Thank
just
you,
wanted
Beth.
to add one thing to that, that on top of having your folks complete the PD on time, you have to have the PD put into Teams before the end of the year or it won't count.
That's very true. Okay, excellent questions. Excellent questions. We've already kind of moved on to the next slide. So our next PD coordinator meeting will be June 9th. And you have the rest of the dates through December. When I was looking at the calendar dates, I think most of these will stay firm. There didn't seem to be a whole lot of conflicts with conferences and spring breaks and stuff like that. So we will get you the spring dates at a later time. So if that is it as far as questions, I'll give it back to Wayne.
Thank you, Krista. Give people just a couple more seconds in case their fingers are flying. Okay, so this brings us pretty close to the end. So Deb, I'm gonna let you do Ashley's slide about Facebook.
Okay, thanks. As you know, we've got a Facebook page that Ashley and Michelle are both trying to market. So we've got some program stories that we're posting. And if you have a program story, please like us on Facebook and post your story because we'd be happy to share it. You see the address there, tinyurl.com/Facebook TCall, FB TCall. That's our Facebook page. Thanks.
Thank you, Deb. Well, thank you very much for joining us on this little bit damp and wet and windy Cinco de Mayo. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week.